What is going on, Wolfpack Nation? It's the Wolf, and this is week 26 trade recaps. We're currently on a 10-session green streak. We ended the month of June with only 2 red sessions on June 15th and 16th, and we were on a 14-day green streak prior to that. So we're streaking, baby, and we want to share our strategies with you right now. All of the execution charts you see today were executed via CenterPoint Securities, premium tools for sophisticated traders. Let me ask you guys, are you using a direct market access broker to grow your business? If not, check out the link below, promo code WOLFPAC. All right, first up we have AXSM, 31 million float, pharmaceutical name. You can see last time it ran, we reported this on 8/23. So in the morning it had FDA news. We're watching 37.98 and 41.66. These are the Wolf lines. These are the lines we like to report that we're keeping eyes on tape. You can see it started to lift that 36.50 offer here. Then we put a little risk on. We're starting to watch the order flow intently here, and it kind of traded in a point and a half range, which we capitalized on. We got flat before the bell, ding, 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 and sideways. A little bit heavy. Not much range on these 1-minute candles, especially between 9:30 and 9:45. I mean, this thing is just kind of sideways. So we're not really trading it too much. I saw a thin little push here, and we scalped it. You know, we're just watching for small moves at this point. We like to see the imbalance correct, and then we like to see the expansion phase, and we did. We saw that push from the 34.50 level back into our 37.98 Wolf line. And once again, once it lifted that 36.50 offer, we got eyes on it. This is in play, in our opinion. So we started to watch it. Again, when we're watching tape, we want to be risk on. We want to pay ourselves for our resources. And that's what we did. Again, just take it a point and a half. Let's just go ahead and take a look at it. This is the Wolf Trading Technical Room. And you can see we like to report the lines before the asset gets there. And then we like to see how the asset reacts to our lines. So basically, we're just trying to put you guys on the tape at the correct spot. And then we watch the absorption or the aggression into these lines. Next up, we have SDIG. SDIG is a software company, 18 million float. And these guys only got 16 employees. And we got a pumper on it. Oop, a room jumps on it, so we got eyes on it. Now we're short bias for sure. See, got in small versus the cheap borrow. We're targeting 212 and 186 trash bash. I mean, we think that this is a trash name, and we want to see it pull all the way in. So we got some risk on. I'm watching it here at the bell. It looks heavy. I like it. The trade's working, so I'm adding to a winner. It sells off a little bit into the bell, pops up. I'm adding more, and then it just kind of dumped onto this chat room, I believe. So we took some profit at 212, and then we just kind of held. We held for that 186, and it came in. We took a little bit more off at 191, and then we got flat. You can see here at 1009, flat 186. We love the trash, right? We love the trash. Here we have DBTX. It's an 11 million float biotechnology name. This was on Wednesday. We don't like to trade channels. We like to see consolidations and then an imbalance, and then we like to see an emotional expansion. Once we see that, then we believe that there's enough emotion on the ticker for a potential reversal tape. And then we start to watch the reversal tape, and then that's when we decide to get risk on. This one, we didn't really see that until you can see this high day wick back. Very trappy action here, and now we believe that the uptick is on the wrong side, meaning that longs are trapped. And when longs are trapped, we have the potential for a backside move. So we start to get in here. Again, trading around the sheep line, which we don't normally like to do, but we did, and we didn't get much range on this. It wasn't that huge of a trade, but it was just nice, a little bit of practice on the tape, and we got flat like 360. Not a big winner, but I like the fact that we stayed off the front side on this one. AKUS, biotechnology name, 17 million float, but the institutional ownership super high, right? We like to use Nasdaq.com for that information. You can see here at 10:19 in the morning, we are reporting this information to the room. The short float as well was like 16%. The thing with the short float information is that I still have yet to find an accurate data point. I don't know where to get this information. I want to know who's still in it from yesterday. I don't even know if that information is available. If it is, if you guys know where I can get up-to-date, accurate short float information, please comment below. I'd love to hear it. So you can see that this one's kind of like lining up for the perfect storm, right? We have high institutional ownership. We have 15, 20% short interest on the float, and we have cheap supply. It's like the perfect storm. It's brewing. So we're watching it and we're trying to stay off of it. And this thing is just starting to get juicy. I mean, this is vertical right here from 550 up to 7. It did have a pullback here, which we got in a bit early. We were small, but you can just see that we were watching this prop bid. Like you can tell that the algo is printing a pattern that's aggressive in relation to short activity. And it's just propping the bid, not letting shorts out. And we monitor that. And then we're looking for a shift in the tape. We've seen a shift in the tape. I took some off, like these are probably 10% orders just to pay myself, because again, the perfect storm, this thing could go to 10, 15. We're not sure. We don't know who's stuck, who's adding to a position. Don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. In situations like that, we're quick to take profit. We can always add back. And we just trimmed out 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. Now we got a nice little padding, and we're looking to short pops. You can see here at 1047, nice reversal at $7, heavy backside. We're going to reload pops, and the thing just didn't pop. Now it's front side aggressive toward shorts. They get the uptick in balance, and now the algo or larger players risk off. Now there's backside aggression towards uptick, and it's hard to get in. I don't want to chase any orders down. I don't have that in my playbook yet, but we just kind of trimmed it off, and you can see we got flat at 574. TRVI, pharmaceuticals company, 13 million float. This company has like 24 employees. We traded this one on Wednesday. This was a little bit of a tricky trader. Last time this ran, we reported it in the Wolf Trading Discord server on 3/31/2020. So this name hasn't really been on our radar for a few years. We're looking at the news, and we're just kind of getting into a rhythm here. We were watching 298 and 320. Those were the Wolf lines that we post in the room every single day. And we're just getting some risk on into these levels. A nice emotional pop. Maybe this wick here you can see at 8 o'clock, kind of dumping into 8 o'clock order flow. Maybe, you know, there's some brokers that have routing access 8 a.m., maybe dumping into that flow, or just stopping out emotional uptick. And then it just springs up. And that's what we're interested in. We're looking to get some risk on here. So you can see here at 9:28, right before the bell, we just reported that we're holding out, like maybe we had about 10 or 15, 20% left from pre-market highs, and we're looking for a 216 target, but we have reload feelers out, meaning we're looking to reload or add to this core short position at 274. So we reported that before the bell, and we had passive liquidity sitting at 274, just waiting for the algo to come to us, and it did. And it flushed down. I remember I had a little bit of ego on this one, and I was saying some pretty narcissistic comments in the room about these algos, but I was not able to capitalize on this algo here, flashing at 255, 256. We saw him on the level one bid. He was just flashing his ass off. A little bit of ego. I didn't take any profit. Came back up. Again, filled at that 274 level. And then just quick to take profit here, got the ego in check, started taking profit. We're in a little bit of a rhythm against these machine learning entities, and we're just, you know, we're trying to beat them. This one was a nice winner. Next, REV, Revlon, personal products. They make makeup. This is a mainstream name. Everyone's heard of it. It's also been a play for a few weeks now via BK, bankruptcy play. The entity has 5,800 employees, and I think they filed for Chapter 11. Could be 7, I'm not sure. But we haven't really traded this one too much, but today I think the cost of borrows came down, or I forget what it was, but we were looking to get some risk on in today's action. And nothing great about this trade, just waiting for opening exhaustion. So opening exhaustion into pre-market highs is something that we usually like to look at, and you can see that we entered on the backside of this move. It's like kicking a football as hard as you can up into the air. It's going to shoot up, and then, you know, gravity takes an effect, 9.8 meters per second squared, and you start to see stalling on the tape, and then for a brief second it just stops, and then it reverses. And that's opening exhaustion reversal tape, and that's one of our setups. We go over that in the room as well. So once you see that, you have a pretty good vibe on the tape. You can kind of see, you can feel the momentum shift, and then it's like inertia or momentum in a football game. You know, when the home team starts to gain that momentum, you start to see them march down the field, and then you start to see the momentum switch to the other team. And that's kind of like what happened here. So nice little scalp here, exhaustion tip to tip. And on the front side now, and we added some more. I wanted it to go to 6. We didn't catch the main ad, came back down, just taking profit, trying to get off the name, not really looking to get risk on. As you can see, we were early on the second attempt, and then it just pulls back in, and we like to buy support. So we try to sell resistance, and we try to buy support. Now Friday, we have LYT, software company, 8 million float. I'm sure there was a lot of eyes on this. This one was quite the mover, especially 38 employees. The stock went from like $4 to 750, so almost 100% mover. I posted this one because I was just happy that we didn't fight it so drastically on the front. You can see on both of these pullbacks, we got in on the back. We saw the wick rejection, and then we got in expecting weakness. Now, we weren't large enough to take profit at the sheep line, but now we have eyes on the entity. And I did get in on a little bit of the front here, thinking that we would see a rejection here. So I was like really watching the box and the time and sales. And then I remember watching this was like a huge wick. Like, I don't even know if all those prints were organic, but then that was an alert for me that potentially it could be a stop hunt reversal move. So we added more, and then it didn't really pull. It like stalled, and it was like 50-50 here at 540. And I was like, this is not the reversal that I'm looking for relative to this wick. So I just took some off, and I reported in the room. I remember that we're watching this 538 lower high. We're watching for sellers to defend this lower high, which it did, but it didn't reject with the veracity that we wanted to see. And we ended up just taking it off here at the sheep line area, and it just felt strong. Like, even though it was short-term weak in that area, it just felt too strong. And we're watching it here again. We don't like to participate inside these levels, but you can see higher low, expansion, aggression versus supply, higher low. Like, we're not going to participate on the short side in that. If anything, we're looking to develop a long strategy for this. Happy with the front side risk management on this one. Now, AUPH biotechnology, it's like 82 million float, but 30% IO. So and we looked it up, there's about 221 institutions on it. And when we see these names that are a little bit of a larger float, a little bit more institutionalized in terms of how the order flow prints, open market, we pay a little bit more respect to our second and third time frames that we like to look at, meaning short-term and multi-day time frames. But this one was a nice emotional move from 1040 into 1130s, which is a nice move for this float straight into short-term liquidity. So we got some risk on the front. We saw the stalling. Remember, we talked about opening exhaustion. Now, obviously, this isn't at the open, but we understand what it looks like when momentum shifts on the tape. There's a stalling, and then there's a reversal. So we added some right at the top, and then we saw it pull. And when it came back up, I was like, this could be it. And this is our largest ad right here. This ad was at like 11-12 or something, and then boom, we saw the flush. And I wasn't looking to marry this name. I just want to get in and get out. Again, higher institutional ownership. I don't want to go head to head against these HFTIOs. I just want to take my profit and get the hell out of there. And that's what we did. And we're happy with this one. Lastly, we have BRQS. It's a technology name. I think I reported it as 190 million float, but I could be wrong on that. Recently, I just looked it up and saw 12 million, so I'm not sure. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what the accurate float is on that. But you can see in pre-market here, look how noisy this asset is. I remember talking to a couple guys in the room. We were talking about skills and things that we can do to filter out the noise via leading data. And we like to share those tips and tricks with our subscribers. We got a little bit of risk on. I'm waiting for the bell to pull. It did pull. Now, I'm not looking to trim. I'm looking to add. I have a fade mindset on this. It popped back up. We added more. So we're trying to develop the skill set or the tool to add to a winner before we take profit. And we were successful on this one. We took 66% of the current position off at 183, I believe. And then you can see this reclaim. Now, this reclaim, we identified it as a type 4. It's a demand wash and then a support reclaim. And we pulled this pattern off of tradethematrix.net. If you haven't checked out that resource, it's one of the most educational, dense, free resources available, especially if you like to short the low floats. We recommend reading the rigged small cap stocks. There's multiple parts, and it's one of our favorite articles. So shout out to Trade the Matrix. Now, when it came back up and it did reclaim that support level in the low 190s, I'm not sure what it's going to do here. Again, we don't like to trade around the sheep line, but we did get some risk back on, and then it pulled, and we could just see that the bid was soaking here. Again, at that type 4, low 190s support, it just felt like it was going to hold. and we took off a majority of it again in that 190 level. Now, we reported as we were watching this, so we're spending a lot of mental resources in this area. You can see when you see a lot of triangles, generally that also means increased mental resources, right? Our mental cognitive abilities can only be spread so thin. So when we're execution heavy on a ticker like this, we're probably not trading other tickers that aggressively, or if we are, we're more monitoring positions, because this is high mental allocation in my opinion. So when the stock did push up, we got good eyes on it. We're watching it. We're in a rhythm, and we reported at that type 4 play. And then we're saying, hey, we're going to watch 208. We saw pressure and players we ID'd in pre-market at 208. This is potential short-term pressure. And then that was at 957. At 958, it popped into this level. And we also took a snapshot of the tape. But we're reporting, will these sellers that are above 2 at 208, these sellers here, are they going to step down? And then are they going to also be aggressive below 2? That's what we want. And that's what happened. So we had good eyes on it here. 957, 958. We're like, hey, 208, that's reversal inflection point. And it was. And it pulled hard, and now we're watching this heavy, heavy, heavy through the sheep line, heavy, heavy, and we're taking profit off. Now, when it came back up, I had an order at 206, just kind of front running that 208 level, and I didn't get filled. I was on the offer for a minute. I didn't get filled. I'm not going to chase it down, and then we just kind of faded it out. And this was a pretty good trader. We're happy with this one. And that wraps up week 26 trade recaps. If you liked our charts and are interested to learn more, come check us out on Twitter. We post multiple charts every single day, as well as our Wolf Trading Discord room. The Wolf Trading Discord server was established in early 2018, and the purpose of this channel is to build upon a community of successful and profitable traders through proper education. We post heavily into the runner's room. As you can see here, this is a searchable index going all the way back to February of 2019, and it's a searchable index. We also have the Wolf Coaching Room. Here we house hundreds of hours of video lessons and educational content, and we love to have you come give us a look. We're running a special. Come check us out. It's only $2.99 for lifetime access. That's right. One-time payment, $2.99 USD for lifetime access into the server. Come give us a look. We'd love to have you. All right, guys, enjoy that holiday weekend. Happy 4th of July. You made it all the way to the end of the video. You must have really enjoyed it. We're so glad to have you on board. Please feel free to like, comment, share these videos, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's much more to come. Happy trading, be smart, and stay safe.